Yay. I am out of court. And just going live to document it. So that was the second most 1984 dystopian type courtroom scenario I've experienced in Missouri. Of course, the first one being that attempted bench trial by Engelmeyer and O'Fallon. This one was for a regular hearing that wasn't an attempted trial. It was the most steamrolly I've ever experienced. This man was speaking like he was not being recorded, and none of his superiors would ever hear what he was saying. Just openly. He said he doesn't care that I have exculpatory evidence. He did not deny twice when I brought up that the previous judge of Sandcork was involuntarily recused by the presiding judge for corruption. I said that word twice and he did not comment on it or deny it whatsoever. And yet, did not do anything about altering what was done by said corruption. Johnson basically did nothing but say, oh, okay, I'm just gonna threaten this guy with going to prison right now if he pulls any what I consider to be shenanigans. He had his agenda. He pulled a on-the-spot Ferretta hearing. They scheduled a Ferretta hearing for 1:30 in the afternoon. That was not on the record as of yesterday. So they're deleting and then deleting court hearings that actually exist and still exist. And then when I call and be like, yo, it's deleted, they say, oh no, sorry, it's still on. And then they go in and fix it, so it's back on. So I go to bed, wake up and go to court, and then I'm asked, oh, you didn't know about a Ferretta hearing today at 1:30. Like they're trying to do it again. So what can I summarize? It was hilarious. It was perfectly believable for me, but for any other regular American, they just absolutely would not believe that that was an American courtroom, that an American judge was speaking that way. I was not allowed to speak. I was so warned with contempt that maybe 10 times I said, I just don't dare say anything at all because you've threatened me with jail. I don't want to go to jail. Or you said I had the right to remain silent, so I'm going to choose to remain silent. But basically what he did was stick to their agenda. They want to settle the lawyer issue now. I raised such a stink about it. They're like, okay, fine, we're going to get it settled now. And he goes through his agenda, asks this question, are you representing yourself? Are you pro se? Da, 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 da. Like, there's no point in me really going over it all. But just know this. If these people are going to throw me in jail for posting what they say in hearings to the very best of my photographic memory, then that is what is going to happen. Because I have a photographic memory when it comes to hearing words. And I can remember every single word that was said. So I'm going to go home and type it all out or dictate it all out. And then I'm going to post the unofficial transcript of what just occurred. Now keep in mind, in the middle of this, he went on the record and had a woman typing away during this Ferretta hearing, and then off the record at the end. But he said he wouldn't record and was not recording anything else, and wouldn't let me either, and all that good stuff. It was just further evidence to me that, I mean, if every person in the country was familiar with every detail of the case, had my memories matrix warped into their head through the cord that goes into the back of your head in the movie, right? If they all had it just warped into their head and then heard that hearing, everyone would be like, holy shit, like there is no Bill of Rights protections whatsoever in this country. This is an absolute totalitarianism run by the judicial class. Like there's no Bill of Rights. The Constitution doesn't mean shit. I've even bringing up rules like, yo, you have a rule in the Animals and Agriculture, Title 17, that says if a dog's on your property and if there's imminent threat of injury to person or animal, that you can shoot it or kill it or harm it. You can't be charged with civil or criminal charges. So what are we doing here? And he completely ignored that. Didn't want to hear the citation of the actual Missouri statute that says that. I mean, it was... He basically learned from Sandcork, okay, I'm not going to let this guy make a mockery and laugh and all that, so I'm just going to go iron-fisted and threaten him with jail big time. I mean, there were long stretches I just didn't dare speak at all, because of what he was saying. I will put you in jail. Here's warning number 1, here's warning number 2, building up the justification. They are completely terrified of me in front of a jury, and I know that because he was desperately trying to get me to admit on the record that I am representing myself or that I waive the right to the assistance of counsel, which of course I never do. I'm just, I just want the assistance of counsel. It's a right. That means you have to pay for it, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say anything about indigent in the assistance of counsel right in the Bill of Rights. I said that. But yeah, he just said, I'm just going to be a bigger bully and make him be quiet because I'll threaten him with more jail. And so it's just funny, part of the reason why I'm smiling and laughing and trying not to laugh in there now is I just can't believe how ineffective this is against me. And I can't believe how effective it would be against someone who just doesn't, who is intimidated by it, is scared by him, doesn't have experience, right? And yet it just doesn't affect me at all. I'm just sitting there listening to it and letting this happen. There's about half a dozen members of the public there. There's 5 or 6 bailiffs. There's about 4 lawyers. They basically just got more steamrolling. And if you were to hear it, I mean, you'd just be like, oh my God. This judge is saying things that if it got out into the court of public opinion or the Commission on Judicial Conduct or just anywhere with a platform, people would be like, holy shit. They would be scared. That can happen in America. I wasn't even having the opportunity to be defiant. I was just going in there and answering his questions, and he was already putting me on notice. So anyway, I have decisions to make, and I'm going to make those decisions. But Johnson thinks that he is going to do that and 100% get away with it. And Johnson, I'm just letting you know, when I say things in court, I'm just going to take it up with another judge and take it up with another court, I mean, okay, you're just going about your business that doesn't mean anything to you because there's zero judicial oversight, obviously. And okay, but okay, I'm just going to leave it at this. We'll just see how this goes. This is what I always do. I'm like, well, we'll just see how it goes. Sandcork found out how it goes. Engelmeyer found out how it goes. He's running. And Johnson is not going to be any different. The other 2 Missouris I had on little traffic tickets aren't going to be any different. They weren't any different. Oh, here's another thing of interest. So Murphy, he actually had Murphy, the prosecutor, talk. Murphy actually, because the judge nudged him to, offered a plea deal of 120 days in jail. 120 days in jail when they have legislation that says nobody can face criminal or civil charges for shooting a dog on their property with imminent risk of injury. and that they'll be compensated if they are charged anyway. They don't care about that. 120 days. They don't care about the arrest being illegitimate entirely, because the police report didn't say anything about any threat whatsoever to the owners of the dog or any community or family or any of that. And yet, Carrie Sullivan of the prosecutor's office filed a document that said we want an arrest warrant. And Judge Cornejo signed it and checked the box that said I was somehow a danger or a threat to the owners of the dog based on zero evidence whatsoever. So the entire arrest was bogus, illegitimate, should be quashed. My $2,500 should be returned. That wasn't mentioned at all. Oh, they have no desire of returning that anytime soon. They're going to keep that. They're planning on the jury finding me guilty, but so they're paranoid about me being my own lawyer in front of the jury. Spent a lot of time trying to convince me not to be a lawyer in front of a jury, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there just recording and documenting and recording and documenting. Just like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just recording what you're doing. I said there's a federal lawsuit inbound. You don't care at all. That's fine. So, yeah, I'm just going live because, I'm shocked too. This stuff just it doesn't have the desired effect on me, you all. I wish there was something on my pulse so you could see, this doesn't even bother him at all. I didn't pass the swing gate. I stood up. I didn't sit at all. He didn't even see me. I wasn't even called up until 11:15, meaning I have to show up at 9 a.m., but I have to sit on a hard bench until 11:15. Well, they put me at the end. Bailiff said, oh, it's because you filed a motion. Well, they didn't even get to the motion. Of course, he wouldn't address the motion I filed 2 days ago about my $2,500 and the YouTube video. Didn't even address it. Scheduled a pretrial conference. I don't know why. Scheduled a 3-day jury trial. Prosecutor said needed 2 days. I said I needed 2 weeks. So the judge said 3 days. So I have a 3-day jury trial scheduled. I mean, I am going to get nowhere in that courtroom next time. And so everything I've got has got to be fired and pushed upon the county council, the state AG office, and the Commission on Judicial Conduct. And obviously on YouTube. So I'm going home. I'm going to dictate the entire hearing word for word and post it. I might even read it like a book. But Johnson thinks he knows how to handle me, and we're all going to find out whether or not that's true. Good times.